this is going to be a brief video on how to put an item into the laser for the very first time and how to set it up through Adobe Illustrator. This is a cutting board that I made, so you can either use a tape measure, or as you can see through the video, that you can record these coordinates inside of the laser by using the little screen. I have two different lasers. This is the Epilog 60 watt, and I also have a Gravograph Ls100. So I'll show you kind of both ways on how I get the coordinates. And then I put the piece of paper in there. For example, if you have a weird shaped item, or if you have a customer bring something in, they want this logo in a certain spot, I have them use this piece of paper just so I can know exactly where it's going to go. If it's misshapen, it's easy to put a piece of paper on there and then just measure that box, and that would be your new engraving area. And kind of, like I said, you can look at the screen there and it shows the coordinates. And then we'll show you the other computer too. It's virtually the same thing. I record the corner marks of what item I'm engraving, or I could use that piece of paper and like do a smaller design, but I'll show you later in Adobe on how I actually do it through Adobe to make it real easy. And I know Corel and even like Gravostyle and those programs are going to be very similar to this, so Adobe's what I have, so I'm going to show you that one. Alright, so then I pull up Adobe Illustrator. This is the size of my laser bed in the back. It's 24 by 18. My front one is an 18 by 12. So you're just going to create the Adobe artboard just to be the same exact size as my laser bed, so I can visualize what I'm working with. And then I always like to work with the corner jig in there, just in case you have a rounded or beveled item that kind of goes over the edges of the laser. So I always use a 1 inch by 1 inch corner jig, just to keep everything in the same spot, keep it in the same laser spot. It just flows nice, and you can line things up sometimes a little easier just because I got some thicker 1 inch by 1 inch jigs. And then now if I know the exact dimensions of the item with tape measure or something like that, I'll go ahead and put those in the computer. Usually working with rectangles or circles, so even if it's not perfect, you can at least cheat and give yourself an idea of what it's going to look like in the laser, and decide how you're going to design it and how it's going to look like by going that way. Alright, from there I'll go to Google, or if some customer gives me their logo, I'll get the logo. This is make sure they're royalty free, make sure you're not stealing anybody's work, but I'll go in here. I'm not sure exactly where this came from, so I'm just going to grab this just to show you how to do it. I'm going to put this strawberry on here, and this shows you kind of how to put it on there, where to put it. I use image trace a lot, just to get rid of the background. I know there's other ways to do it, but image trace works and gets the job done pretty fast. So, and that way I can remove the white background. So if I need to do layers, I can do layers. But this is just a very quick video on how to do a simple object like a strawberry that's pretty well designed. It's all black and white. Then you can move it where you want to on your item. I usually use a lot of cutting boards, so design it there. Then you can go ahead and grab your text file, put your text in there, size it to where you need it. Just give you a really quick way to do it. Select the fonts. I'll show you how to select the fonts here. Just grab the corner, hold shift just to make things move the way they're supposed to. Just kind of choose whatever font you like. Just a brief one just to show you something cute and simple that a lot of people want on their cutting boards. Alright, now from here I'll show you how I use I kind of like the post-it note that I use on there where I'm going to put a design. For example, if there's already words on the thing, or if there's a weird misshaped item, like I'm kind of showing you where if there's text here, text there, or if it's just really misshapen, of how to use that post-it, get the coordinates, and design it in one little spot. So you'll see here in a second how I open the guides page, or sorry, open the rulers. and then I'll drag the guides by using those coordinates. So you just drag it over there, and then on your properties tab you'll see where you can actually give those coordinates. Yeah, give me a second here. Yeah, so you can put the coordinates in. So you wrote those down, and now you're going to use those coordinates to put exactly where on your board that this is going to fit. And then now you have that kind of post-it kind of framed in there, so you can, that is now your engraving area. So you might, change your logo or change everything else to fit in there. So just kind of how I do it, and I'll show you here the printer screen in a second once I kind of move it and shape it all together. So as I fumble through, kind of just getting this kind of lined up and get the right alignment and the right size, just kind of shows you what your final product will look at on that little corner of the board. Kind of move it in there, stretch it, move it around, and then the next step is sending it to the laser. So you just gotta go through some steps to hide the layers or delete the layers. If it's just a one-time thing, you just delete them. But if you're doing multiples of the same thing and you plan on saving this file for a long time, you can just kind of organize your layers, and eventually you're only going to print that one layer with the strawberries and the names on it. So you want to hide the other layers, and I'm just kind of fumbling through hiding that later and organize it where I need it to be. And then I'll go to the print screen here in a second. Like I said, I'm showing you the Epilog one. I have a Gravograph one. They're very, very similar on, just getting your speeds and your settings and all that kind of stuff. And you just kind of know, wood, I use about the same settings. Tumblers, I use about the same settings. Just kind of, this is very generic. This is more of showing the placement and how I get to this point. And I want to select the correct laser instead of just a regular printer. And then, so then you go to the setup and go to your preferences, so you can get your speeds. And if you want to use autofocus or not autofocus, I use autofocus a lot. And that's just basically the basics of how it works. And I can show you other things later in different videos, but that's just basically, if a customer brings something in, then you have the ability to do those one-offs, or set up a new product that you plan on making a big run of, that you don't have to rely on like JDS or PGram Done or Johnson Plastic Plus, whoever has like the templates. Like this way you can make your own templates and kind of go from there. And, like I said, I plan on doing a couple other videos. Epilog is what I use a lot, just because it's a little bit bigger and I can use some different tools. So just let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.